Poseidon ends up giving a really big pull to the Drayon and ends up missing 2 CS because of it in lane.
Yep, and everyone kind of settled into a more normal lane phase here. Last game we had just so much damage and so many items going out very quickly that we didn't have as much of a laning phase.
Nope. It was like double Duran's Ribbon to lane level 1.
Yeah, so when you see something like that, you really don't see nearly as long a lane phase, but because we didn't have all those kills here, we could actually see a little bit more regular game.
Yeah, we'll get to see really how these matchups would play out without champions having kills.
I think top is what I'm most interested in, because we don't see Aurelia as much anymore, but when we do, it really seems like she's a lot weaker. And both top lanes kind of just going back and forth, not really messing with each other, just grabbing their CS.
Pretty passive game across all lanes so far, but
Yeah.
Morgana's actually running down here. It's actually warded though, so they should see it, and they'll be running. Gets the pin into the wall, and they'll be able to just walk out of this. Both junglers come, but they're not really doing anything right now.
Yeah, gonna have to back off. But that damage out onto Morgana is probably going to give Vlad a bit of a farm advantage.
Definitely.
And the ward sees Jarvan there.
Yep. I don't know if they know it's there. Doesn't look like he knows it's there. I think the Morgana, they just think that Morgana went a little bit early, and that's how they knew.
Yep, and what that ends up really helping him out with is basically, up until the lane was completely pushed there, you'd notice that every time he'd start to recall, Vayne would take a few steps forward and convince him that maybe he had a shot to gank. And you can really just waste the jungler's time there once you've seen him.
Yeah. They did waste a decent amount of time. That's at least enough for a couple camps.
Yeah, and that's one of those things you can do. You know, people don't really think about that, but you can put the enemy jungler pretty far behind if you can keep him waiting in your lane.
Yeah.
The flip side of that is if you're too aggressive, you may actually give him a chance to gank, and then he's going to kill you. And we see Shen coming in there, but not able to hit the taunt. Vlad not able to follow up with it either, so just going to back off, get back into his jungle.
Yeah, that's pretty hard lane to gank. Morgana can just spell shield and just negate the taunt whenever you cast it.
Top lane, we actually have a pretty decent lead for Aurelia, up by about 10 creeps.
Which is surprising.
Yeah,
I would have thought
would not
Riven
have
would
called
win
that.
that.
Mid lane, a small lead for Vlad. Bottom lane, it's about even. Small lead for Candy Panda. And he is one of the best at farming. Good taunt there on the Skyart, and stun from Aurelia as well, but he's going to use his own stun and just get back out of there.
Oh, they initiate onto Janna. She's gonna be fine though. Are they gonna be able to kill Nip? Nip has no flash. Or onto him. Guess not. I think they might have been able to go for that there, but Ash decided to back off.
Well, they have to worry about, you know, getting into range and having Candy Panda ping them into the wall. And once they're pinned there, I mean, even if wasn't able to finish the kill, all they're going to do is take more damage. And Vlad going ahead and taking the raid camp. And still stayed very passive. Like so, we've seen some ganks, but nobody's really made that early tower dive.
Yeah, and Riven just burned his ult and ignited Kevin to try to deny some of the CS on the turret. Ults him and backs.
And looks like we may see that first tower dive here onto Kevin, though.
Yep.
Got both Morgana and Jarvan there, but we also have Shen for SK.
Yeah, and Kevin saw it on a ward, so
And
he backed off the turret.
I think
let
my
himself
game
get denied.
froze.
Nothing's really happening right now. Both junglers just roaming around top. Looks like they might go for a gank onto Riven.
Yep, I just saw Skyar come in, game unfroze here, and they might actually get something. That Ignite very well timed, but I don't think they're going to get quite close enough to close on him.
Yep. They burned his flash though, so semi-successful gank. Looks like they're going to be contesting onto the blue, knowing that he's back. Side against it.
And a little bit of action bottom, but no serious damage going out.
Yeah, Nif maxed heal in this lane, so they're just going to be able to sustain.
And it's always good when you have Vayne in your lane, because so much damage comes out if Vayne has the ability to be aggressive and go in and take some hits.
Ooh.
Vlad getting chased here, but gonna pool and be able to get out of there just fine.
Has to burn Ghost though, so not really a successful raid camp steal. There's a big wave top. Scar's gonna be wanting to farm that. It's a big change from last game. Last game it was a lot of early game pressure, tons of kills, tons of roaming, dives, everything. This game has kind of just been a farm fest so far.
Yeah, everybody just being really passive. And I think sometimes you see that after you have a game with a ton of action like that, nobody wants to kind of be the first one to go in this game.
Yeah.
You know, in a game like last one where first blood is gone almost immediately, there's a little bit less pressure. Whereas at this point, nobody wants to be the person who gets first blooded. And they are kind of letting each other farm. I mean, like I said, the ganks haven't been super aggressive. They've had a couple of good shots, but nothing crazy.
One thing that I find interesting about the way Jarvan skilled is he doesn't have any points W. Normally you see Jarvans get 1 point of W for the slow, but he's going full damage. 3 points Q, 2 points E.
Interesting. I guess he does have a good amount of CC in his other lanes, though.
Yep.
And still, just still very passive. We've got Jarvan waiting for a possible gank here, but Vlad gonna go steal Wraiths and pretty much be out of his reach altogether. Top, still a farm fest. Man, this really is passive. So used to all the action from last game.
Yeah, I think it's good for SK though, because they do have really strong late game champions, and as the game goes on, the CC will become less punishing, and it'll be more about damage.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how well they're able to get everyone into late game. Particularly Vayne. It seems like they're just going to let Vayne farm, which I don't think you ever want to just let Candy Panda farm.
Yeah. The only thing that's stopping it from being like obscene that he's getting so much CS is the fact that they have nothing to protect him later. Oh, and he ults, gets behind Janna, gets arrowed though, cleanses it. Is he going to be able to pick up this kill? Yeah, gets first blood.
Good job.
It's a good ulti.
And good follow-up with the flash to be able to get that last hit.
Yeah. Well played.
Looks like possibly a gank onto Riven at the same time here. But Jarvan coming in at bot.
Shen actually ults all the way to bottom. Jarvan's forced to flash.
And Aurelia getting some damage onto Riven here.
Yeah, he's doing well in this lane.
Yeah, really, like I said, not what I would have expected from the lane. Still a small CS lead, but I'd have really expected Riven to start to slowly take this lane over. And looks like Vlad possibly coming top for a gank.
Yeah, you see it's a huge creep wave. They want to deny him the creep wave, so if they dive, he definitely won't be able to farm it. Ghost from Vlad. Yep, easy kill.
Good job getting the kill there. Jarvan and Morgana coming in, but it's going to be too late.
Yeah. And that's like a small mind game that you play with top laners. They normally, when they have a huge wave, they just want to stay and farm it. And if you gank, they're going to be sitting at their turret.
And it looks like SK going for Dragon while all this is going on top. And I don't really see any way that Eclypsia is going to be able to contest this. They should be able to take it down here pretty quick.
Free Dragon.
And that's actually going to set him up with a nice 2k gold lead.
Yeah, really well played.
Not quite the 10k we saw early in last game, but still a lead. Back at mid now, just back to farming. It's interesting how quickly they just kind of revert back from these, back to a farm fest from the ganks. Because I think a lot of times when a team gets ganked, they then try to be aggressive right back. But good restraint here to realize they can just kind of continue to farm up.
Morgana actually ults onto Vlad. Isn't able to pick him up though.
Yeah, couldn't pool quite in time to prevent the stun, but did pool as soon as it hit, so was not forced to stand in the Tormented Soil.
Jarvan tried to be sneaky, but they actually know he's there. And they actually bait the gank. Shen TP's in. Are they going to be able to do anyone there? Oh no, he's just backing out. They just want to run. Just want to get out of here.
Yeah, wow, Shen in a little bit of trouble there. But they are able to get everyone out, which is, Skyart coming in, possibly not going to get everyone out. Great headbutt from Alistar. Wow, that was impressive.
He just wasted a flash.
That was impressive from Nip and Candy Panda. The knock-up and the condemn.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty good. It was interesting that SK tried that. They saw Jarvan waiting in the bush because Jarvan actually tried to make a cool move. He tried to EQ into that bush and get out of there without any vision showing him. And instead, SK decided that they wanted to fight it. They wanted to bait him and have Shen TP in and try to fight it. And yeah, I think they lost that original skirmish.
Yeah, but you can lose a skirmish like that when you're able to get out without getting killed. Because they're pretty much going to have to back there anyways, so they didn't lose a whole lot. Now, if they'd lost 2 or 3 champions there, then yeah, absolutely, that would have been a great gank from Eclypsia.
Yeah.
And we go back to the farming grind. But we are seeing bigger pushes bottom here. I don't know how much longer this turret's going to stand. Yeah, another wave being pushed right into tower here.
Yeah, and a lot of that's because you just saw Riven roam and try to get kills bottom the whole time. Kevin just sat top, growing his lead. That's actually really strange from Riven. The Bilgewater Cutlass. I have never seen that before on Riven.
Oh wow, that's bad. Candy Panda going down, and now Niffin a little bit of nah, he's gonna get out. Good job there with the Pulverize. Little too aggressive. I think Candy Panda a little bit overestimating his damage and not really thinking about the Ash arrow there. And first turret is taken by Eclypsia. They've actually evened up gold pretty well here, only down by about 600.
Kevin saw he was getting cut off by Morgana and tried to all in the Riven, but wasn't able to kill him. So yeah, it's all even up.
And yeah, that actually makes up the gold difference. Gold is back to pretty much even. Less than 100 lead. That's very impressive. I really thought after that last team fight that SK was really going to start to push an advantage, but Candy Panda just getting a little bit too aggressive for his own good, and ended up costing him bottom tower.
Yeah, he was actually doing fine in CS up until that point, but the gank beforehand, as well as him dying there, really put him behind. He lost a ton of CS to his own turn, and his own turn actually ended up going down, so bot lane started to change.
Yep, and I mean part of it is even pretty much being seen every time, Jarvan still managed to have a lane presence, which just blows me away. I can't figure out how Jarvan is having such a lane presence, even though they see him every time he comes in for a gank.
Yeah, I think it's more this SK baiting him in. Like, they think that he's weaker than he is, and they're trying to bait him to gank and waste a lot of time when they should just be playing safe.
And we do see blue going on to Candy Panda here. Small, yeah, the gold lead is insignificant at this point. Kills are even, but we do have one tower advantage for Eclypsia.
Yeah, and it looks like Dragon's going to be coming up here soon, so they're preparing for it. They pink warded Dragon, and they're sending Shen top to split push to try to draw some pressure up there so they can force the advantage once it comes up.
Well, that should be the next big fight, should be here at Dragon. And having lost the bottom turret, it's going to be a little bit harder for SK to position for it. But not bad. We've got Skyar coming in here, possibly going after mid. But they're going to see him coming from a ways out. I don't think he'll really be able to do much. And they're collapsing onto Dragon right now. Let's see what Eclypsia can do to try to stop.
So I wonder how they want to do this, because Shen's the one that has the smite and he's top. So they can't do the Dragon with the Jarvan right in range. Vlad goes really aggressive, ult onto the whole team. Morgana flash ultis and Zanya. Riven's going in, gets knocked out by Alistar. Aurelia jumping back in here, trying to kill the Ashe. Everyone's still alive from Eclypsia. So, yeah, that really went in favor for them. And it's a really big deal when the Shen ults and doesn't get the teleport off. When he ults and the target goes down before the shield's broken, it's a big deal.
Yep, and we will see top turret going down to Shen. It's one of those things where when you lose a fight like that, you want to take the top turret because it at least gives something back to your team. A little bit of global gold, but it looks like they're going to end up losing mid tower as well here.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, this is really going to be the strength of Eclypsia's team comp. They've got a bunch of CCs, so the mid game, they're going to be able to just burst people down before they're out of the CC. That time especially, Vayne didn't have his cleanse up, so yeah, it was rough for him.
And a lot of people around top, Eclypsia wanting to take that turret down, and not really a whole lot of people here from SK to defend it. Yeah, it looks like they will be able to take this tower down. And that'll bring the towers to 3 for Eclypsia and 1 for SK. A lot of damage there on the Candy Panda. Good job by Nif kind of getting in the way there, taking the Ashe arrow.
And his ultimate is still cooling.
Wow, that damage.
Oh, and they're both going to go down, it looks like. Yep.
Wow, Candy Panda and Nif fall there. Just a little bit too aggressive with the ult again from Candy Panda. I think he just overestimates his damage when he goes in. And he did miss the condemn there, which didn't help. But even then, that wasn't even a close fight.
Yeah, it was really the fact that Alistar got caught without his ultimate, so they had to do something. And yeah, by fighting it, they both ended up dying.
Alrighty, and I'm just going to go back to kind of pushing lanes here. With all three first towers down, Eclypsia's got to play a little more aggressive if they want to try to continue to push here. But they've got really good map control of Dragon and Baron, so that it's not crucial. Like, basically, they can wait for SK to make a mistake at this point.
Yeah, they just have to choose their fights wisely. They have the engage. They've got the Ash Arrow, the Morgana Bind. They just have to wait for something to hit and then engage off it properly.
Yeah, and they should be able to. It looks like they're going to try to take mid tower here. 4 from SK in the area, though, so we could see a decent-sized fight here. But nothing landing from Eclypsia. And so they don't really have like a good split push comp. They're pretty much just going to have to straight up fight them here. Under one of these towers. And they have a decent enough lead, about 4,000 gold. They should be up enough in items that I think at this point, with their strong mid game, they can do it. The problem is if they wait too long, that strong late game from SK is going to kick in, and they're not going to be able to win these fights under towers.
A little bit of a wasted Ash Arrow there, and they end up having to back off because of it. They're going for blue, though. Let's see if SK is going to be able to contest. Looks like they're going to end up giving it up. Possibly going to shove middle while the enemy team's out of position.
Yep, Aurelia out of position for SK, though, so I don't know if they want a team fight here. Alistar going in and not able to get the Pulverize off. Ultimate from Morgana. Kevin is the only one who gets locked. Wow, bunch of damage. Jarvan goes down. Morgana is able to get out, but Vlad is in some trouble here. Good double taunt from Shen. Oh, and here comes the damage from SK. This is not going to go well for Eclypsia. Great spell shield, but still going to go down.
Is that an auto attack? I think he finished him with an auto attack.
I'm pretty sure he did, because he used all of his abilities there. That was a beautiful team fight from SK. 4 for none. They really did a great job transitioning people in and out of the fight, and they're going to go straight for a Baron.
Yeah, and that was just a bad fight to pick from Eclypsia because they didn't have Ash Arrow, and Jarvan wasn't able to get his ult off, so it was they probably should have waited until they had all their spells up and tried to go for something then.
And I mean, Nif just went in crazy there. Like, I didn't realize what he was doing. That was not like, I was gonna call that out as a bad engage, but it worked out perfectly for him. And I just don't think Eclypsia was expecting it. You know, all of a sudden Alistar was in the middle of him, and his engage didn't really work out. But at that point, they were fighting, and SK just really took it to him.
Yeah, Nif really just used the knowledge that he had of Ash's ult being down and just decided that it was a good time for his team to fight.
Yep, and the thing is, what they can try to do now that they've gotten this fight is they can try to use this to get their bottom lane, get Nif and Candy Panda back into this game. Because Vayne is going to become just a killing machine later in game as long as they can get her some farm now. Kind of get her caught up again.
Yeah, that's the best way to get her caught up. You win a team fight, get her Baron, now she's back in it.
Yep,
That's exactly what she needed.
Down 40 farm to Ashe. But they're going to be able to kind of push lanes around now with Baron buff, so this should be a great chance for them to kind of recover. They are actually only down just under 1,000 in gold now. It's amazing how quickly this game keeps turning one way.
Oh, and Skyard looks like he's pushing onto Candy Panda. Candy Panda wants to fight this. He knows Nif is nearby. Wow, they're going to be able to pick up this Riven. Ash Arrow misses.
Yeah, and an initial decision by Skyart there, but once Candy Panda knew he had Nif coming in, there's just no reason to be afraid anymore.
Yep.
And they were able to pick up Dragon, so not a complete loss, but not necessarily a trade you want to make because now SK is going to be able to go after some towers.
And it was a trade that didn't even need to be a trade. It could have just been a free Dragon. There was nothing that that he got out of it. It was just he was being greedy for a kill, and it actually ended up being the opposite of what he wants, which is pushing Vayne closer to her late game.
Yeah, and you could tell like the point at which that fight changed. Candy Panda was goes from trying to escape to realizing Alistair's there and just, alright, we're gonna push now.
Yep, and auto-attacking.
Yep.
Looks like it's going to be a free bottom turret here.
Yeah, very, very good push. And they're going to send Shen mid. They're going to try to probably push down mid now. Or possibly looking for a gank as Eclypsia comes through their own jungle here.
Oh, this red buff could start something. They just saw them with the hawk shot, so they know that they're there. They don't exactly want to fight though. They're still missing arrow. They already made that mistake once. Bind hits Alistar, really not going to be a big deal. He's just going to press E a couple times.
Yeah,
He'll
not
be
the
fine.
one they wanted to hit there. You can't really engage on stunning an Alistair.
And it's almost a bait, because at any point he can just negate all your stuns and turn on you and lock up your whole team, so...
Yeah, exactly. And not only the stuns, just, yeah, you know, once his ult's up, you're not doing that much damage to him. So,
Yeah.
not who you want to jump in on and take out first. You kind of want him to be that straggler at the end to finish off. And looks like SK going back here, going to grab some items. We have a Phantom Dancer going on to Vayne. That's going to make her much tougher to deal with.
She's getting closer and closer. It used to be about a 2k gold lead on Ashe, now it's like a 1.2k gold lead, so... Vayne's definitely catching up.
Yeah, and the rest of the lanes have been doing very well. Like I said, this is really going to come down to Eclypsia having to do something before SK's late game kicks in. We're already almost 30 minutes in, and SK just really showing why they picked this team comp. You know, in the beginning they were having some trouble, fights weren't necessarily going their way, but now even when they're getting engaged on, they have so much power.
Yeah, that's a good thing about Ashe, though. A well-placed Ashe arrow can win a game for your team, so you still have a chance at any point with her.
Yep, and they are all grouped up in Eclypsia
Oh, it
jungle
looks like
here.
they can... No, they're not going to be able to do anything. Sky's just going to back out.
And looks like Eclypsia is going to go for their mid tower here, though. They're going to try to push into base. And they did catch SK out of position, so they might actually take a second turret here.
Yeah, really well-timed push.
And able to get out. They weren't able to take that second turret, but it looks like they'll get out without having to fight.
Ashe arrow goes out onto Aurelia. Aurelia flashes. Shen ults Aurelia. Vayne's in the back just doing damage. This is probably not the position you want to be in. And Vlad's cleaning up the whole team right now. The whole back line just got melted.
Skyart, they're just melting Candy Panda, but it looks like SK should be able to come and clean up these last two.
Who knows? Riven's pretty good at escaping. Maybe he can just run. Wow. The flash, the early flash from Shen, just to get that little bit closer. Any suicides.
Executed.
Well played. Burned a flash there. Now they're trying to slow down Morgana with this Relies. Looks like it's working, actually. Are they going to be able to pick this guy up? Looks like it.
Yep. Very good job they're getting the chase. They now just need to turn this into some sort of push. They have only about 6 seconds until Ashe is up, but 44 on Morgana and 30 on Riven. If they can take blue buff here and maybe get a tower, that will really have been a great fight for them. I really think that fight for Eclypsia, though, was saved by Skyart. If he'd not been able to come in and kill Candy Panda and Vayne was still up that whole time they were dead, there'd have been a couple of towers lost there.
Yeah, he did a good job of flashing over the wall and chasing Candy Panda after she tried to make an escape. Yeah, I think the real thing that SK needs to do right now is get that first mid turret, because that's providing a lot of map control to EC right now. They're able to stand pretty far up in that mid lane, and they punished SK last time SK tried to go for an objective. So if they get that first mid turret, they'll have a lot more room to work with.
Yeah, it really does divide them. They're having to run back around mid lane for everything they're going for. But, you know, even after all that, gold difference is under 1,000. It's still a fairly even game. SK's been doing a very, very good job of fighting, but it's still pretty much an even game.
Yeah, the main difference is the fact that SK's got the real late game, the Vladimir Vayne. That's where huge damage comes from. And the damage is going to slowly fade out for EC. Morgana kind of falls off as the game goes on. Kind of the same thing for everyone that they have. Jarvan, Ashe. They all tend to... They bring more than just damage, but their damage does fall off.
And the Oracle's on Nip there. They're just going to clear wards. They try and place them. Eclypsia is going to be able to... Excuse me, not Eclypsia. SK is going to really be able to kind of kite these guys around and set up wherever they want to for this next fight.
They're doing the same thing.
Oh, wow.
They're rushing mid. They know that SK pushed off towards Baron and they're trying to control that area. And boom, 5-man mid. And they're probably going to be able to get this turret before they're able to make any response. Maybe even more. This would be a great inhibitor. Yeah, just sneaking in inhibitor. SK is going to get to fight though if they want. Kevin gets arrowed. Shen ulted again. Ocelot's in the middle of everyone. Gets killed though. Wow. EC might be able to end this. This is insane. I guess not.
Nah, see, SK was so anxious to get into the fight there, they didn't really come in with the right positioning. Vladimir got burst down way too quickly.
Yeah, that's huge for EC. It's pretty much a free inhibitor.
Yep. And that, again, no significant gold lead, but with the super minions pushing, it's going to be really, really hard for SK to take that mid lane now. Free Dragon will also help Eclypsia out a lot.
Yeah, and it's going to allow them to set up for Baron. I would expect Janna to pick up an Oracle sometime soon. Someone else doesn't have one already. Yeah, probably Janna pick up an Oracles here, and then go clear around Baron, use the advantage of having the inhibitor down.
Yeah, that's the thing. SK has been kind of running around the Baron area trying to wait for the perfect time to set up the fight. Now that they have an inhibitor down, they can't do that because the lane will push itself because of super minions. And that's where losing a turret when the other team, or losing an inhibitor when the other team hasn't lost any can really hurt you. Just the extra free lane push. It kind of takes away a little bit of your ability to just fight inside the jungle the whole time.
Yep, and Janna picked up that Oracles, and now she's going to clear all the wards around Baron, and they're either going to bait a fight or start Baron for themselves and take it. And SK knows this, so they're all converging on it right now. They know they have no vision anymore at this point, and they think that they can be on Baron right now.
Unfortunately, the binding missing there, because that kind of gives away that they're not fighting at Baron right now.
Yeah, and I would expect EC to just repeat this process of dewarding Baron and then just hovering around it.
Yeah, I don't know. Even with the the last couple fights going their way, I don't know if they want to straight up engage on SK here. That last fight was a 4-on-5.
Yeah, Riven's backing. Probably has a big item right now. GA. Yeah, it's a big item. And to even add to their pressure, bot lane's being naturally shoved by blue team. So SK really needs to act on something.
Yeah, and with Baron going down right now, they really have a choice. They go in and fight Baron, but they're probably going to lose that bottom turret for it.
Yep. Arrow misses. Good Morgana ult though.
Yeah, and Alistair back in there, but a lot of damage on the Candy Panda, but there is Shen.
And he tumbles out of the Jarvan ulti. And he's running for his life right now.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
And they do lose the turret. Great taunt by Shen. The Guardian Angel saves Jarvan. But here come Vlad and Alistair to make this day go a little bit worse. Good escape.
Yeah, and Candy Panda just did something smart, which was lifesteal off Wraith, so now he's going to be high enough life to re-enter the fight and then go for Baron after.
Yep, they're really going to have to probably... I think if they get Baron here, they can start some sort of lane push. But they're going to have to work fast.
Bot's going to take a little bit of damage, but... yeah, it's going to take actually a considerable amount of damage, but they really need this Baron at the moment. And Alistar's already back, and he just wants to get creeps off that turret. Like, having a turret lose 2/3 of its HP, it's kind of a big deal, especially inhibitor turret.
Yep, and they'll get their inhibitor back soon, which will help with the lane push. And with Baron buff, it's going to be even harder for Eclypsia to engage on them. Alright, and it looks like Eclypsia is going to take blue, and they're just going to try to push in here. I don't know, it's tough because they should still feel like they're in the lead, they're doing very well, but they're behind in kills, and they can't really fight in a 5-on-5 here.
Yeah, the Baron buff really gives an advantage to SK as far as fighting is concerned. Also, Vayne picked up a GA here, which is really big for him. 2 GAs went down for EC last fight, so that's going to give them an additional advantage in terms of fighting. And I think the best thing EC could do right now is just wait out the Baron. Wait the 4 minutes and then just try to engage when SK is a little bit weaker and maybe when they have their GAs up again.
Yeah, because SK is going to push this now pretty hard. But they can. I don't see any reason for Eclypsia to try to get into a fight here. They've got Shen, so they can split push.
Yeah,
and he'll get into fights way faster than Jarvan will.
Yeah, and they know Jarvan's top, so they're trying to go for a little bit of damage onto mid. But Shen's not there either, and they see Jarvan back, so they're going to back off themselves.
Yeah, and Shen, his ult is up, so yeah, they can pretty much fight wherever they want to. But they gave up on the push there. I don't know. I feel like SK's really got to take some advantage with this Baron buff. They've got to use this time to try to get an inhibitor of their own down.
Well, Vayne's cleanse is going to be up in like 10 seconds, so that should help out. They'll probably be more aggressive pushing turrets when they don't have to worry about her getting caught by an arrow or something.
Yeah, it looks like they are just going to be pushing down mid now. Shen is split pushing top. We do have... well, Jarvan is out of the fight, but he's heading up lane. Candy Panda going bottom now. And SK is going to grab a dragon real quick. I just don't know if that's... I mean, it's definitely good to get dragon. The money's helpful. But I feel like they really need to push something else while they have Baron. They were still winning team fights even without Baron, but they should be dominating them with this buff.
Yeah, they're just afraid about getting caught under a turret or something like that, like by an Ashe or maybe a Morgana ult. Things can get real messy fast, so they want to be safe.
We're going to see Guardian Angels back up soon, and that's going to really make it tough.
That's definitely true. Riven's is almost up. Same with Jarvan's. Both are going to be up within the next 20 seconds.
Yep, and Jarvan might get caught here.
He's just going to... Oh! I think the
great
stops it. Oh, they're going crazy for this. Flashing over. They really want to kill this guy. and he ends up going down in like the 5 seconds before his GA got up, and Riven's, not Riven, Vayne is going crazy and chasing onto Riven through the turret.
This could be SK's chance here, though. This is where they could get an inhibitor and really make a good push here.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Yep, and good job there. That was really the advantage they needed to take.
They just need to get out safely. And Nif's gonna go down. Oh, and
Wow.
so is Shen. I don't know exactly what he was doing there.
Yeah, I don't know why he went back in there. I mean, everything had gone great up to that point. Looks like they will still get 3 out, though. Downside is you got a minute where they're going to be without.
I mean, they might actually, the EC might be able to take mid inhibitor off that, though. That's a decent amount of time. 45 seconds. They can probably group and push.
Yeah, and Jarvan is back up now, so they've got their full team.
Yep, and Jarvan and Riven now both have GAs, so they'll be stronger in this fight. That was amazing that right when we were talking about his GA, something like that happened.
That's really going to make this difficult. I think you're right. Mid inhibitor is in some real trouble here if Eclypsia chooses to push.
And they notice it now. Is it too late? It's only 15 seconds. Oh, Havoc getting caught. Oh no, this is bad. It's bad for them.
Wow, that damage from Candy Panda. And Skyart chasing onto him, popping the Guardian Angel. But he's going to be back up here. And good flash over the wall there, but still probably going to get caught by Riven.
Oh, and Shen TP's in and taunts the Ashe. Is that going to be enough? Wow. And Ocelot ended up living through that somehow. It's amazing.
Wow. And we do see Candy Panda fall to Riven, not surprising there. But SK with a decent advantage here. They should be able to push back into base. They've got 13 seconds until Janna, but until the next high damage character, they have 30 seconds until Morgana.
Yeah, they should easily be able to take at least a couple mid turrets, probably then him. And the real thing that changed that fight was, yeah, I mean, Janna got caught by the Vayne. She kind of face-checked a Vayne, and late game, Vayne's hurt, so...
And even though he died there, beautiful by Candy Panda, because it took him so long to die, he pretty much just took Riven out of that fight after going in and killing Morgana. So he gave him a huge part of that fight, and it looks like they'll take probably all of the inhibitors here.
I think they probably will have to back off. Yeah.
But at least the turret.
Maybe the turret looks a little bit risky. I feel like EC should have engaged off that.
Yeah, I felt like they overstayed their welcome a little bit there, but they got away with it.
Yeah, I think Baron's respawned.
Yep, 5 seconds till Jarvan, and we'll have all 10 players up.
Yep, and that's going to be the next fight, and now EC is really on their heels. Oh, and do you see that? Nif just trolled Shen so hard, he accidentally stole the red buff. That was it's pretty funny.
I always feel terrible when, like, as a support I steal a red buff, or, like, you know, as an AD I accidentally steal blue, something like that.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because Shen has Frozen Mallet, but yeah, I mean, the support ally is really not going to be attacking enough.
Oh, wow.
That's actually big. That Ashe Arrow is not going to be up for this Baron fight, so I think the Ashe Arrow is a way bigger deal than the QSS on Aurelia, so they're going to feel comfortable, SK is going to feel comfortable enough to just do this Baron and force the team fight.
Yeah, even with only 4 people, Vladimir is out of this fight.
Oh yeah, that Vlad needs to be with them before they do this, but they should do something while the arrow's down.
Yeah, just grabbing blue, and I imagine he's heading to the fight right now. Yep, and now with Vladimir here, I don't think there's any reason for EC to fight over this Baron. I mean, possibly if they go in and get a good engage, but without the Ashe Arrow, I can't imagine a scenario in which this fight goes well.
They're gonna try it though. They're all running there right now. Ashe is pretty far away though. They have to go now if they want to have any chance at it. And Jarvan tries to steal it, but isn't able to.
Nif splashing out of the Jarvan ult there just to get back into the fighting and be able to use all of his CC. Good damage coming out from Eclypsia, but I don't think it's going to work for long.
Ooh, they killed the Vayne though. That's big. See if they're able to do anything after that.
Morgana gets out with almost no health, but they're on to Skyard. He's in trouble. Guardian Angel popped, and he's going to die as soon as he gets up. If Morgana gets out...
I think this is going to be GG here.
Yeah, I mean, Morgana's alive still, but I don't see what it's going to do. There's the surrender. Good games. SK taking Eclypsia here 2-0. Both games very, very good, though. Neither one was a steamroll. But SK showing they are definitely still a powerhouse here in EU.
Definitely.